We received so much new information today that I really had to make a video on this. All of this will be about the next patch, the mid-season patch, patch 5.13, and normally I don't make videos about patches before the patch outside of maybe new guards, but this one is actually very interesting because a lot of the changes that we were kind of hoping for are confirmed, some things I was expecting were confirmed, and a lot more was confirmed that I had no idea about, so there's some really cool stuff going on and I did not want to skip out on the opportunity to tell you about this already and have a little bit of a conversation about the changes. The changes, to summarize them all up between multiple tweets, especially from Ajax, but then also from Tina, are matchmaking changes as we start implementing timed queues. New positive player behavior system with unique rewards, commendations. Back-end features to help our team find and ban negative players more easily. Support role bonus XP. Lowest level player on each team will receive increased shared XP. Shared XP means you must be near a teammate to get the bonus. This rule won't turn on until 2 minutes. There are also other updates. Joust, new XP camp by the Bullyman King and better tower radius visuals. Arena, clear ticket pop-ups and adjusted respawn timers. Clash, phoenixes will be changed to work like in other modes. Rank duel, 5-minute surrenders. Tina also said that 5.13 has one of her favorite skins of all time, and there's a bit of a teaser here which is an elephant trunk with some wool, so it looks like it's some kind of Ganesh knitting skin. And then on top of all that, we also know that Tina is using the voice actor of Vegeta for a new skin, so we don't know if that will be in the patch as well, but considering there are quite a few posts about it, that will probably happen very soon as well. Now that we've quickly covered them, let's go through these changes more in depth and talk about them one by one. The first one are the matchmaking changes with the timed queues. I've already addressed that in a previous video, but to quickly sum that up as well, SMITE used to have timed queues once upon a time. That means that instead of having the queue count up until you have enough players, the queues count down. So you see that, for example, a SMITE match in Conquest will start in 5 minutes or in Arena in 4 minutes. And then you queue up, and when the 5 minutes are over, the queue pops. And at that very moment, the algorithm takes all the players that are currently in the player pool and matches them according to their level. So the best players get matched together and then the next best ones, etc. And that's only possible in this way because through this longer pooling system, you have a lot more people at once. And that makes it much easier to balance out the skill level against each other. The obvious downside is that for the average player, the queue will get a little bit longer, as normally they would have very quick queues if you're in the middle, the average, and that can be a downside, but at the same time you also know exactly when the queue will pop, so you can get a snack in between or something and you know when you come back that's when the queue will pop exactly. So I think this system will do great for SMITE, knowing that back in the days the system worked much better than what we have right now, but obviously it can always still go wrong. Also, we don't know for sure, but it's been announced that along with that, it might be the case that ranked gets reduced down to solo queue only to make matchmaking more fair, and I could imagine that that could be happening at the same time still, because the feedback, especially from the pros in that regard, was very positive. While this obviously sucks for people who want to dual queue into ranked, it at the same time makes the matches a lot easier to balance and will lead to a lot better balance, and other games utilize this model very successfully. The next change is the new positive player behavior system with unique rewards. Now this one is interesting because it really comes down to the rewards, I think. Multiple other games have tried this before. I know that League of Legends has tried it and it didn't really matter anymore at some point, while at the beginning it made quite a change. Whereas in Overwatch, apparently at the moment, from what I've heard from somebody now, it's quite successful. So really it depends on how much there is behind these commendations. If it's just a badge, then people may not care enough about it. If there's some benefit coming with that badge, more people will probably care. I personally liked FP tipping as well, so I didn't really mind that, but obviously it didn't have the impact that Hi-Rez wanted it to have, which is why they're going with this system now. And I think it's definitely good that this is being tackled. I definitely think that outside of having negative consequences to bad behavior, it really helps the climate of a game to have some reward, some positive reinforcement for positive behavior. This is not so much about teaching people how to behave or raising kids in online games, but rather simply about the fact that when there is something to gain from being nice, people generally tend to be more nice. If fake nice or real nice doesn't matter at the end, It's just nice when it results in less toxicity. The question is once again how effective the system will be, so this could go either way really. The next one are the backend features to help the team find and ban negative players more easily. This one I think is a very good change obviously, but I don't think that we will notice too much of it immediately. I think it's gonna take a while for it to have an impact on what kind of players we see in our games, and we don't know exactly what these backend features are or what they changed, so it could be something very minor, it could be something very major, and that's just something, you know, we can guess about, but it won't really get anywhere, so not much to say. The next one though we can say something about, and that's the bonus XP for the support role, or rather for the lowest level player. Now, I've heard a lot of concerns and complaints about this already, and I'm really not sure why. The idea here is that you get more bonus shared exclamation mark XP if you are the lowest level player on your team. You don't suddenly get a truckload of XP for yourself and just run around the map and kill everyone if you were the lowest level player for a minute. That doesn't make sense, and I don't know where this misconception is coming from. You simply get more XP when you're in lane with somebody else. That's also why even if another player is the lowest level player, the biggest benefit here will always be with the support. Because the solo laner can't just randomly rotate out to another lane if he somehow ends up on the lowest level, so he will still get the same amount of XP. Sure, the jungler could go into a lane for better shared XP, but that would still leech from that lane anyways, so it's not exactly like it would help the team as a whole that much. The only character that will frequently make use of the sharing mechanic in the current meta is the support. So with them usually also being the lowest level unless you have a feeder, the benefit for that is obviously there. This also will help players catch up in late game if somehow for some reason they didn't make it to level 20 yet and everyone else is, so that's also a nice benefit. I think overall in lower levels of play you won't even notice all too much of that, and only in highest levels of plays where the support is definitely always behind because everyone else is farming very efficiently all the time is where this will be more noticeable. The dynamic between the support and the ADC could be interesting here because they could switch between the shared XP if they're both staying in lane and on the same level, and it could bounce back and forth between them. Not sure about that, but we will see about that. Overall, definitely a nice feature to get supports a little bit more into the game right now. The fact that it doesn't turn on until 2 minutes also means you don't get an immediate ridiculous spike somehow, so that is also very good. Then there is the change to Joust with the new XP camp near Beanland King and better tower radius visuals. I am going to assume that this means the Joust map and therefore also the duel map, because it's the same map. So as such, I think it's a good change. There were not really enough objectives on the Joust map in my opinion. I'm not quite sure if it should just be an XP camp because I feel like that might not be worth it that much. I feel like it could be something better than that, but that could maybe make it problematic for duel at the same time. So that's a decent change overall and makes the map a little bit more interesting. I know there are a lot of complaints about the layout of the map and that it doesn't have enough objectives or camps right now. As for the tower radius visuals, that was way overdue. It's really annoying when you get hit outside of the tower radius. I mean, by now most people actually know about this, but still, good that they finally changed it. Don't know exactly why that one took so long. The arena changes are once again something we can't say too much about. Clear ticket pop-ups, okay, cool. Doesn't really matter. Usually you can see the tickets when you want to see them. And adjusted respawn timers is something that could mean shorter or longer, or either or really depending on the situation. So don't know how good it will feel. I feel like it's something that is carried over from, I think, the corrupted arena mode where they tested around with that a little bit, so could be good. The Phoenixes in Clash finally actually doing normal damage with normal shots instead of that stacking laser dot. Very good change. I did not like that. I'm pretty sure most people didn't like that because it made it very frustrating to tank those Phoenixes compared to any other Phoenix in any other game mode, and it didn't really make sense as cool as the concept of the mechanic in itself was. And then last but not least, we also have dual 5-minute surrenders, which I think is very nice because if you're playing on your own, you should be able to surrender whenever you feel like surrendering. I don't know why it's still 5 minutes and not 0 seconds, but there may be some internal mechanic reason. Maybe they want you to try at least for 5 minutes to go for it or something. But yeah, 5 minutes is a lot more bearable than 10 minutes when it comes to duel, when you just want to get out as quickly as possible because you know you won't be coming back from how early you got stomped in that game. The skin obviously looks cool too, so looking forward to that as well. And that is it for the changes. Let me know what you guys think about them in the comments down below. We will learn more about them on Friday, and I will obviously do the normal patch notes viewing and the patch notes review on my channel. So if you're not subscribed yet, feel free to hit the sub button with the bell to get notified of that too. Also, tomorrow is probably going to be another double upload day, the last one in a row, where I will upload the last Rhyme Royale video that was made with ZiSotto, and then I will also upload a SMITE video probably. And with that, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope this was interesting and insightful. Hope to see you all for the next one tomorrow. DukeSloth out.